We welcome you inside the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center here in the state capital city of West Virginia as the SMHS Network brings you exciting live streaming coverage of the 2025 West Virginia High School Girls State Basketball Tournament. Today's game is being produced by Video Productions in conjunction with the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission and is presented by your local Little General Stores. Greetings from Charleston, along with former coach Jim Mahan, our great crew. I'm Mark Martin, and we are delighted to have you with us here. Game number 2 on day number 3 here at the state tournament. Jim, we just had an exciting single A encounter to get that phase of the tournament going. But here in this second game of the day, it is a Class AA semifinal, and one of these two teams going to be the first to punch a ticket to Championship Saturday, and that would be number 2 seed St. Mary's and number 3 seed Charleston Catholic. Two terrific teams we've had a chance to see already in this tournament.
Yeah, they got some kids, and they just don't rely on one player. They got a couple of players from Charleston Catholic in double digits, and actually 3 players from St. Mary's in double digits. So, you know, they can spread the ball around. They do a good job of that. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup here in this morning session.
Outstanding players on both sides. For St. Mary's, Addie Davis, a senior, leads the way. And for Charleston Catholic, it is Mary Rushworth. We'll talk much more about this matchup, St. Mary's and Charleston Catholic. Winner moving on to the state championship on Saturday. You're watching live streaming coverage of the 2025 West Virginia High School Girls State Basketball Tournament here on the SMHS Network.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General Store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General Store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Life doesn't wait, so neither should your care. Whether it's a cough, fever, or stomach bug, Access Plus is here for those urgent moments.
From bumps and bruises to stitches and even x-rays, we've got you covered with extended hours and walk-in care for the whole family.
You do not have to be an Access Health patient to be seen. No appointments, no hassle, just quality care when you need it.
Access Health, where care meets community.
Hey, Chris, are you snowed in too?
Nah, man, I'm staying nice and warm from the heat coming off all these deals at Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall.
Oh, good for you, man.
For limited time, get up to $10,500 off remaining 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali's.
Hey, can I come over there?
Sure, man.
Oh, this is a lot warmer.
GMC, we are professional grade.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Well, Jim, for the first time in our coverage, as the two of us get set to call our 8th game, good look there at veteran Fred King, Terry Nichols, his assistant coach, getting set to guide St. Mary's against Charleston Catholic. We have a game in the state tournaments to reference back to. St. Mary's defeated Ritchie County 57-37 on the opening day Tuesday. Addie Davis had 17 for St. Mary's. Brinley Bullock finished with 16. Laney Watkins had 10. We did see a terrific performance by a youngster for Ritchie County, Elsa Law, who scored 27 points. She hit 7 threes, and there is young Wes Hebner. Wes, dapper as always, and getting set to guide Catholic here back in to the state tournament and getting a win there against Logan in what was a great game and what started the tournament on Tuesday. 45-35 was the final in that one. Mary Rushworth leading the way with 13. Molly Messer had 12 in the contest for the Irish. A lot of talent on Coach Hebner's team. They hit 6 of 14 three-pointers the other day. What jumped out to you of those two teams on Tuesday?
Obviously, I think the way they share, I love the way Catholic shares the ball and that team enthusiasm that they have. They have a lot of good balance. They play with an awful lot of intensity. Where St. Mary's, you know, they're very much like, they play the game very much like Charleston Catholic does. So, you know, the way I see this game going is the swings and the momentum and trying to keep the game within the game. And what I mean by that is don't let it get away from you. You know, I think Tucker earlier this morning kind of let that game get away from them a little bit. 17 down, had to claw their way back. That takes a lot of energy out of you. So both of these contests, both of these teams coming in, St. Mary's and Charleston Catholic, they want to keep that game very close so it's competitive all the way through.
St. Mary's 20-4, Charleston Catholic 18-6. Following those victories on Tuesday here inside the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. Earlier, Greenbrier West winning over Tucker, an exciting game, and we can hope for just the same here in this matchup. Tucker fought back from 17 down, but West able to fend them off and get the victory and move on to semi-final Friday. Over to Frank Blake we go.
Heavener. Meeting at center court with St. Mary's head coach Fred King. Assistant coaches for Charleston Catholic, Kenny Butler, Patrick Hurley, Keisha Butler, and Stephanie Hudnall. Assistant coaches for St. Mary's, Terry Nichols and Angela Eddy. Now support staff for Charleston Catholic, Luke Heavener. Support staff for St. Mary's, Mariah Evans, Micah Evans, Tanner Blinkley, Chloe King, and Reagan Levitt. Now let's meet the squads for Charleston Catholic. Number 4, Nora Aliff. For St. Mary's, number 1, Landry Riggs. For the Irish, number 11, Layla Carter. For the Blue Devils, number 3, Addie McGrady. From Charleston Catholic, wearing number 33, Talina Williams. St. Mary's, number 4, Riley Renner. From Charleston Catholic, wearing number 20, Addie Gray. For the Blue Devils, wearing number 5, Avi Sprouse. And for Charleston Catholic, number 22, Callie Getz. For St. Mary's, 2 more for the squad. Number 14, Brooklyn Davis. And number 33, Lindsay Asher. Now let's go to the starting fives. For Charleston Catholic, a 5'6" freshman, number 1, Allie Wilcox. For St. Mary's, a 5'8" sophomore, number 2, Anna Bennett. For the Irish, a 5'7" senior, wearing number 2, Aurelia Kirby. For the Blue Devils, a 5'6" freshman, number 11, Lanny Watkins. For Charleston Catholic, at 5'8", a junior, number 3, Ileana Evans. And for St. Mary's, at 5'10", a sophomore, number 32, Brylan Lee Bullock. For the Irish, a 6-foot junior, number 10, Mary Rushworth. For the Blue Devils, 5'5", a senior, number 12, Callie Powell. And for Charleston Catholic, 5'6", senior, number 24, Molly Misser. For St. Mary's, a 5'8", senior, number 13, is Addie Davis. And we're ready to play ball.
For over 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia Home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community. The health plan. Here for you.
Take a ride to the north side and get your big John deal at Mid-State Ford in Summersville. And here's the top 5 reasons to shop Mid-State Ford. You'll find the largest inventory, award-winning service, financing made easy for everyone, highest trade-in value. And the number 1 reason to shop Mid-State Ford is where you'll find your big John deal. Mid-State Ford in Summersville, MidStateFordWV.com.
Today's live streaming coverage of the 2025 West Virginia High School Girls State Basketball Tournament is being presented by your local Little General Stores. Great price, convenient places. Your local Little General Stores. Great student section for St. Mary's. Likewise for Charleston Catholic. Brian Thaxton, Isaiah Harvey, Scott Brown are the officials. And we are set to go as the white-clad St. Mary's Blue Devils and the black-clad Charleston Catholic Irish do battle in this Class AA semifinal. Will be the first team in the 2025 state tournament to reach the state championship. Messer, the great three-point shooter, can't get the first attempt of the day to go down, and it will be St. Mary's with the basketball. Getting the Blue Devils, but they are purple and gold. There's no doubt about it. Well documented down through the years, but
yeah, came out in a 2-3, and that's what we're looking at, probably more of a soft man. There's a travel. An unforced error there from Annie Bennett, the sophomore.
Charleston Catholic located just a few blocks here from the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. St. Mary's, located in the mid-Ohio Valley, the county seat of Pleasants County. Beautiful town along the Ohio River. Shot up and good. Wow. Wilcox nails the three-pointer. The freshman hits it.
I don't think Fred King wants to extend the defense out that far. He got some body there on Wilcox. He was able to, on Davis.
So Brian Thaxton, one of the officials. Brian was a great basketball player at South Charleston and went on to play at Youngstown State. So the foul assessed to Molly Messer. That is her first. Davis at the free throw line. And Addie Davis off to West Virginia Wesleyan. She connects Saw Kenna Britton yesterday for Sissonville, also heading to Wesleyan. Brett Vinson, who was a prolific scorer at South Harrison High School and then played at a variety of colleges. Big-time shooter, and he's doing a great job with the women's program there at Wesleyan. They finished second in the league, and he's doing it with West Virginia talent. He's got Sydney Barrett on his team, young lady out of Webster who will see Webster later today against Tug Valley. All right, Catholic up empty, and now here is Davis. Her dad, Sean, was a great athlete at Old Spencer High School, now part of Roane County High School. Was a fantastic basketball player, great pitcher in baseball. And Bullock was getting banged around there. She dribbled the basketball, shot no good. Davis with the rebound. And the Blue Devils, well, Jim, what we have held balls in the first game, and now here we go.
Well, we had 23 in game one. I don't suspect we'll have as many. The skill level, nothing taken against either one of the previous teams, Tucker and Greenbrier West, but this is a championship semifinal game. So one of these teams, like you said, Mark, will be punching their ticket to the championship.
3-2 game, and it's going to be Charleston Catholic's basketball. Allie Wilcox drilled a three-pointer. She now has 31 on the season, came into the tournament with 29, got one in that win over Logan, and then has hit one here early on. Meanwhile, for St. Mary's, a couple of free throws by Davis. Aurelia Kirby can't get it to go. Davis snags the missed shot and brings it across the 10-second line. Firing and connecting for St. Mary's is Lainey Watkins.
The freshman didn't have any trouble burying that corner, that side shot three-pointer.
Now from the outside, Wilcox looking for a second three of the game. St. Mary's with the 5-3 lead. Blue Devils across the timeline and then off the foot there of Powell, and so it's going to be Catholic's basketball.
Yeah, decent job by Powell to track it down. A lot of times kids will give that play up. Well, you saw closing pretty quickly was Molly Messer. She could have scooped that up and took it in for the score. Nice heads-up play there by Callie Powell to at least not let him do that part.
Shot on its way, won't go, and here comes St. Mary's. Addie Davis to Bullock, and Bullock with a foul called underneath, and going to go against the Irish, and it will be Mary Rushworth.
Yeah, great entry pass there from Davis on into Bullock. Bullock showing what kind of strength she has to muscle the ball away from two defenders and get the ball up on the glass.
Up and in is Bullock.
Coming in for Charleston Catholic, number 4, Nora Aliff.
Nora Aliff into the game, replacing Mary Rushworth. Hopefully to give her a little bit of a breather.
Aliff played really well the other day. A very key freshman for Wes Hebner's team. Here's Messer looking for a three, and she's got it.
Yeah, Messer was a recipient of some excellent ball movement there by Charleston Catholic, passing that ball all the way around the perimeter with some really crisp chest passes.
Messer now with 4 threes here in the state tournament. Had 3 against Logan. So she's up to 33 on the season. In comes away with a big steal here.
Yeah, I think they got in the way of the little double dribble. I thought she had double control of the ball, but nonetheless, Catholic ball.
Allie Wilcox sending it Messer's way, and then they look for Rushworth. They'll make that A-lift down low, and foul going to be called here against St. Mary's, and it will go against Bullock. That'll be her first
personal.
Team foul number 1 on St. Mary's.
And 9 times out of 10, when you reach from behind, the officials are going to call that.
Pass
That's
in.
just miscommunication. Wow, great opportunity there from Allie Wilcox, not able to convert off the cut down to the basket.
Bullock fires up one, can't get it to go, but a nice save there by Anna Bennett into the hands of Watkins, but she couldn't get it to go, so here comes Catholic. Down 7-6, looking for the lead, and they will have the lead. Nice drive there for Charleston Catholic as Messer now has 5 in the game.
There off of the glass, Mark. That's pretty impressive. Good ball control.
Messer came into the tournament averaging 9.7. Gives Catholic the 8-7 lead. Powell trying to give it back to St. Mary's and does.
Powell likes that left-handed floater when she comes off of that weave on the top part. She did that quite frequently in her previous game.
Powell averages 10 a game. Here's Messer, and Messer going to go up and get hammered there. Powell in the win over Ritchie County on Tuesday. St. Mary's had a lot of players, produce in a variety of ways. See the foul there, but Powell had a good game with 8 points, hit a three-pointer. We got a break in the action. It's St. Mary's by 1.
For over 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia Home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community, the health plan, here for you.
Take a ride to the north side and get your big John deal at Mid-State Ford in Summersville. And here's the top 5 reasons to shop Mid-State Ford. You'll find the largest inventory, award-winning service, financing made easy for everyone, highest trade-in value, and the #1 reason to shop Mid-State Ford is where you'll find your big John deal. Mid-State Ford in Summersville, MidStateFordWV.com.
Whether it's a blue can of Pepsi or a silver can of Diet Pepsi or the black Pepsi can of Pepsi Zero, enjoy a great smooth taste of a nice cold Pepsi. At the line is Messer. Messer now with 6 in the game. Messer up with the second and gets it to drop. Messer, a 62% free throw shooter. Catholic leads at 10-9. Addie Davis negotiating there against Aurelia Kirby. And a takeaway by the Irish. Aliff stepped in front of that pass. Rushworth back in the game. Down low, Aliff still in there. Aliff's shot won't go. Back up, and Aliff just keeps battling, and still, as she fell to the floor, could not get it to go through. Tough break for Nora Aliff, the freshman.
Yeah, a couple point-blank shots from right down on the low block.
Stopping. Couldn't get it to go there was Bennett, but another opportunity here for the Blue Devils. Addie Davis played alongside her sister Zoe. On the move, one-hander up and won't fall for Watkins. Irish on the attack here as we hit the 2-minute mark of this opening quarter of play. Wilcox, opening three-pointer. That one rattles around and won't fall. Her older brother Max, he's a great player at Charleston Catholic. Unfortunately, he missed this season due to an injury. Charleston Catholic, the defending AA champs on the boys' side, falling last night to Logan in a regional. So the Wildcats will be heading to the state tournament next week, guided by Mark Hatcher, who returned to the helm of Logan basketball this season. He's got quite a track record there guiding the Wildcats. So good season comes to a close for
pretty formidable player.
Yes,
in
he
his
was
day as well.
Great season comes to an end for the Irish. Here is Powell. And a little Batman movie, Powell. She puts one in.
Bam. We had a Bam earlier yesterday.
Yes, we did, yeah, for Logan, yeah. Bam Mosby, good player. All right, 12-10. St. Mary's now leads it. Kirby on the run. Kirby just stayed with it.
Kirby.
12-12 game. Davis. They fed it down low there to Bennett. St. Mary's hang on here. Powell looking for another three. That one goes in and out. Aliff with the rebound. Messer on the move. Messer will bring it back out into the hands of Aurelia Kirby.
Got a post up there by Aliff. They missed her on the post down low, but pretty good defense there by Anna Bennett.
Pass to Wilcox and easy bucket there for Aliff. Beautiful distribution.
Yeah, nice job doing the extra pass, Wilcox to Aliff for the deuce.
14-12 the score. Landry Riggs dribbling. Now here's Davis. Davis, little head fake there. Davis fights for her missed shot, put it up, won't go. And first quarter in the books. 2-point game. Charleston Catholic on top of St. Mary's in this Class AA semifinal. You're watching live streaming coverage of the West Virginia High School Girls State Basketball Tournament on the SMHS Network.
Please hold the line, and we will answer. Gosh, I'm still waiting for those corporate prices.
Looks like you could use a hand. Literally, we're here to help. While we're waiting, let's talk about what really matters, customer service. That's crucial for us.
You know, it's a good time to have options when choosing health coverage for yourself,
Thanks, Emerald.
for your
Now that's
family,
impressive. Small
or
town
for
service
your
you can
employees.
count on.
And
I'm
you've
still
got
on.
options with the health plan. Known for exceptional service and support with a nationwide network of physicians. Flexible coverage options you can count on. And competitive rates you'll appreciate. The Health Plan. Plan on it. Learn more at healthplan.org. Healthplan.org.
2,000 jobs, and that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota
I'd like
the
to remind you
#1
that
selling
Hope
brand
Gas
in West Virginia.
is committed
See
to
your
serving
dealer
the
and start
families
your
of West
adventure
Virginia.
today. Toyota.
And they're
Let's go
supporting the
places.
Dollar Energy Fund by contributing $3 for every 3-point shot made in this game. That's Hope Gas, 3 for 3.
Cracker Barrel, the old country store with locations in Charleston and Cross Lanes, West Virginia. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's Cracker Barrel. Head to the second quarter here. Charleston Catholic on top 14-12. Fred King, 49 years in coaching, 39 as a head coach. What a career, been to a lot of places. And nice to see a guy who has put in the time and effort to help make kids' dreams come true and help mold young women and men into productive citizens. It's nice to see a guy like that on this big stage.
Oh, he's such a class act. He's just a fine gentleman and an exceptionally good basketball coach as well. Very personable.
He just loves it. 73 years old, lifts weights 3 times a week.
Good for him.
Wes Hebner. He's got to keep up. You know, he's got a young guy down there, Wes Hebner.
That's right.
Wes is svelte as always. Wes grew up little area of West Virginia, Franklin. Foul called here. So you think Wes Hebner grew up in Franklin. Franklin and Circleville, of course, were rivals, and they formed Pendleton County High School. And Circleville has the pride of this state tournament with Christy Cooper, who knocked down 63 points in a game. Up and in is Davis. So the connection there of Pendleton County. Here's that call there.
Yeah, she definitely got her on the wrist as she was shooting.
Davis.
And this time she was shooting 3.
And we were looking up numbers there. in that single A game. Think, Jim, Christy Cooper did that when there was no three-point line.
That's what makes it even more amazing.
And she went on to play at WVU.
I guess they could go back like they used to go with Pistol Pete and figure out where the three-point line really was and add an extra point or two.
For a guy who played in this building for many years in another section of the building, the great Archie Talley.
Oh, yeah.
Archie never blinked when asking how much would you have averaged, how many would you have averaged had there been a three-point line? He said about 65.
I don't think I'm going to dispute that number. It may seem a little high, but he's 2 steps across half court. He's shooting.
Catholic, a little trouble there getting it in, but they finally do. Now here on the move, nice passing by Ileana Evans to Aliff.
Underneath, basket by Aliff.
Aliff has 4 in the game. Catholic goes back on top, 16-15. Blue Devils wheel around, shot won't go there for Watkins.
She did have a good look at the top of the key, wasn't able to cash in on it.
Foul going to be called. St. Mary's, they won the Little Kanawha Conference title, beat Gilmer County. Gilmer County, the top seed of Class Single A. Foul going to be charged to Lainey Watkins. That's her first, team foul number 1 here in this second quarter. And Nora Aliff, a 58% free throw shooter, drops in the first and now has 5 points.
To go with the fact that she's very tall, she has a very high arching free throw shot. Seems to take a few seconds to get down. St. Mary's needs to do a little better job. They're getting that ball down on the low post very easily. Charleston Catholic is. St. Mary's going to have to defend that a little bit better.
Davis guarded nicely there by Kirby. Bullock's shot wouldn't go for the Blue Devils, and give it to Catholic here at the 6:19 mark of this second quarter.
And St. Mary's didn't do a very good job in the first quarter, shooting 23% and had 5 turnovers. Charleston Catholic didn't have a single turnover in that first quarter.
Aurelia Kirby looking for the 3, couldn't get it to go. Battle down low, and a foul going to be called on the offensive side, and they'll get Nora Aliff with the personal. That will be Nora Aliff's first.
Yeah, good box out there by Bullock to keep her body on Aliff, to keep her away from that rebound. Was able to entice her to go over the back.
The St. Mary's lost to Grafton. Grafton will play later today as Davis gets her first field goal, a 3-pointer for Addie Davis.
A nice ball screen off of that wing.
Moving in and getting it to fall is Evans. Evans averages 7.1 a game.
Ileana Evans, just too easy. That's right down the lane. Nobody even contested her.
19-18 game. Driving, shot blocked by Aliff. Here comes Messer. Messer attacks and scores. Messer's having herself a nice first half.
Yeah, just way too easy on that dribble penetration for Charleston Catholic. They're just not getting in the lanes, filling up that, but an excellent job by Messer recognizing that, seeing the defender with her back to her on the backside.
Bullock. Here's Davis.
King likes to run that 3-man weave. That was a really tight one.
And a turnover by the Blue Devils. And Aliff leading Evans just a tad.
The Irish give it right back.
New players in the game. Landry Riggs, number 1 for St. Mary's, and checking in for Charleston Catholic will be Layla Carter. But we go back to St. Mary's and its schedule. So they fall to Grafton, 51-48. Grafton, of course, has won a game here at the tournament, advancing on. Meanwhile, Williamstown had a great season, but St. Mary's would avenge a loss to Williamstown in a regional championship game. So it was a great team there. Wheeling Central, number 1 seed of AA. They lost to them, and they lost to Fort Fry, Ohio, who was 1 win away, Jim, from going to the state tournament in the Buckeye State. And this year, when you say you're going to the state tournament, you're going to play for a championship. 7 championship games here. So Aleph comes in. Evans goes out limping.
Yeah, a little bit on the fall there. There's a landing and able to get the turnover. Charleston Catholic was.
21-18 score here. We break away on the NFHS Network.
Family's Health. Trust WVU Medicine, Thomas Hospitals.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Nearly every sport is affected. For more information about becoming a high school official in the WVSSA, visit them at .org. That's WVSSAC.org. You can become a high school official. It's an easy call.
Back here in Charleston, 4:02 to go in this first half. Good game, 21-18. Charleston Catholic on top of St. Mary's AA semifinal. Winner heading to the state championship on Saturday.
I'm sure Coach King talked about them not being able to get the ball inside. And, of course, they didn't have any trouble getting the ball to Nora Aleph. She didn't have any trouble scoring off of that inbounds play for the Irish.
7 for Aleph. Our biggest lead of the game here at 5 for Charleston Catholic.
A lot of good movement by the Blue Devils, but
Davis with the nice drive there, put up the one-hander, couldn't get it to fall. He'll stay here with St. Mary's as Bullock comes back in for the Blue Devils, and checking out will be Anna Bennett. Well, Wes Hebner's team, they lost to Buffalo, beat Buffalo, then they lost to Nitro. And, of course, Nitro has won here and a step away from defending its AAA championship. Got beat by Wheeling Central in a good game, 64-59 as Bullock scores to make it a 23-20 game. Bullock coming into this tournament averaging 14.7 a game. They lost to Greenbrier East. Greenbrier East in the AAA semifinals as Aleph drops it in off the glass nicely. Another loss to Wheeling Central, a loss to St. Albans, and a loss to George Washington. Those teams sound familiar. They're all here.
They're all here in the state tournament.
And GW and St. Albans making it into the Quad A semifinal round. Wheeling Central in the AAA, or make that AA semifinal round. Greenbrier East in the AAA semifinal round, and Nitro in the AAA semifinal round. So good, tough competition. Foul going to be called on
Layla Carter.
And Layla Carter, who checked in a moment ago, and at the line is Bullock. Needs these free throws to keep pace with Catholic, and Bullock already 2 of 2, now 3 for 3.
Well, they're a completely different team without Brinley Bullock on the court, Mark. She's got a lot of muscle inside, but plus she's got a lot of moves when she goes to the basket. She can be a real difference maker here this morning or this afternoon for the Blue Devils.
Cuts into that Catholic lead at 3. Messer trying to come right back and get it up to 5. Knocks down the shot. 28-22. Messer with her second 3 of the game. Catholic has 3. St. Mary's has 3. Davis looking to make it 4. That one won't drop. Rebound by Riggs, and Riggs a little too strong there on the putback, and a foul going to be called here on the Blue Devils with 2:19 to go. Landry Riggs commits the foul.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because Landry had a good offensive rebound, had an easy bunny inside, overshot it on the other side, and then to add insult to injury, she fouled on the possession.
And Fred King, assisted by Terry Nichols and Angela Eddy. Wes Hebner's coaching staff consisting of Kenny Butler, Patrick Herlihy, Keisha Butler, and Stephanie Hudnall.
Yeah, good defense there by Anna Bennett, knocking that out of bounds. I'm sure that Coach King wants to shore up that they're getting too many easy entry passes into the basket.
Patrick Herlihy was a great player at Catholic, went to Syracuse. 28-22, 2:06 to go in this first half.
First personal.
Second game of our day session, Tug Valley and Webster will follow in single A, and Messer having a game here inside the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center.
Messer's found her spot there on that edge.
On the drive, too strong for Bennett. Going to have a foul on the play here as Bennett drove to the basket. Again, our officials, Brian Thaxton, Isaiah Harvey, and Scott Brown. Foul going to be assessed on Charleston Catholic's Wilcox.
In case our viewers are not familiar with this, Mark, each quarter they wipe the fouls away.
Yep.
Once you get to 5 free throws in a quarter, you're shooting the double bonus, and that's in case somebody was wondering. That looked like that foul was on the floor. It was on the floor.
So Bennett missing the first free throw. Carter out of the game. Evans back in for Catholic. Bennett a 77% free throw shooter, and that one looked like an individual that hit 77% of her shots. Shot up by Wilcox, won't go. Bullock snatches the rebound.
Yeah, St. Mary's really in dire need of some points here, so we're closing in on the half.
How about a three from Watkins, her second.
You never forget about the last shot. You just keep shooting that ball. They won't go in if you don't take the shots. There's a really critical three by the freshman.
Quick hands there by Bennett, but right back to Callie, and then quick hands by the Irish again, or by the Blue Devils again. The Irish get it back again. Skip pass, Messer. This one off target. Watkins will bring it across the timeline and then give way to Addie Davis. Davis.
Very quick.
Yeah, knifing her way toward the basket, and will draw the contact, and that will get her to the line with 37.4 to go.
And you see there she has a nice cut and good rotation with her body and able to draw the foul and go to the line. She's an excellent free throw shooter. Of course, I say that. I don't believe she's missed in the game until now.
5 of 6 at the line. Carter comes back in, and Aurelia Kirby will check out for Wes Hebner's crew. Good look at Addie Davis. Puts that second free throw through the net, and now the Irish with a 5-point lead. And a takeaway by the Blue Devils. Good job by Bennett into the hands of Bullock.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit of a force by the freshman trying to get it into Aleph.
Davis to Powell. Watkins now back to Addie Davis.
It's going to be a one-on-one here as soon as she makes her move.
Shot up, and Watkins can't get it to go. And that will do it for the first half. A huge first half for Molly Messer. Not one, not two, but three three-pointers. Irish up 6. Our halftime coverage coming up here on the NFHS Network.
Hi, this is Quentin.
And this is Brianna.
A little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips are how satisfying they are. The chicken strips are amazing. They're always filling, tender, and juicy. Definitely one of my favorite things on the menu.
My favorite thing is the last bite. The last bite is nice and juicy, and it's wrapped up in some crispy breading that keeps it nice and tasty. And being able to scoop up my Chick-fil-A sauce with it, it's just like the best part of the meal. It's an undefeated combo.
Real customers paid for their testimonials.
The best thing about West Virginia is West Virginia.
It's family, faith, and integrity.
It's a strong work ethic.
Everyone knows their neighbors.
I think we feel closer to nature and we feel closer to each other.
You can achieve anything here.
To be a West Virginian is to be hopeful. We live in a state that has boundless opportunities, and with boundless opportunities come hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at wvisforhope.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in West Virginia, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Back inside the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. Great to have you with us. Mark Martin, along with former championship coach Jim Mahan, our great crew. We are delighted to have you with us. Our first half stats presented by your local Little General Stores, Charleston Catholic and St. Mary's, battling in this Class AA semifinals. St. Mary's, the number 2 seed, Catholic, the number 3 seed, Irish up 6 at the break.
Yeah, a couple of things that's popped out when you look at the stat sheet. Only 3 turnovers by Charleston Catholic, and St. Mary's, the Blue Devils, shooting an abysmal 6 for 25 at 24%. Yeah, they got a lot of rebounds, but they've missed at least a half a dozen shots right on the low block, bunny shots right off the glass, the real easy ones. So, they're going to have to shore that up, and then they're going to also have to kind of defend on that low post down there, because Charleston Catholic's really feeding it inside to their bigs.
The score was tied 3 times, Jim. There were 10 lead changes in that first half.
Yeah, you see the bench scoring 9-0 for Charleston Catholic, and those can be attributed to basically one player, and that's Nor Aleph.
Biggest lead of the game has been 9. St. Mary's had a lead of 4, and it's Catholic by 6 here at the break. Again, the winner of this game will move on to Championship Saturday here inside the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. Both semifinals of AA are being staged here today. Later, it will be Wheeling Central and James Monroe going at it. And the winner of that game gets the winner of this game, and they'll face off in the first of 4 championships on Saturday at 10 o'clock. Coming up, we'll have another single-A game, our second of the day. Started the day with Greenbrier West topping Tucker County in a really good game.
Yeah.
And Tug Valley and Webster County will go at it. That's the 2 versus 7. And that'll be our 1 o'clock game here following this one. This one tight at the moment, 5-point difference. Catholic on top of the Blue Devils from St. Mary's in Pleasants County. We return to the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center in just a moment here on the NFHS Network.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in West Virginia because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Life doesn't wait, so neither should your care. Whether it's a cough, fever, or stomach bug, Access Plus is here for those urgent moments.
From bumps and bruises to stitches and even x-rays, we've got you covered with extended hours and walk-in care for the whole family.
You do not have to be an Access Health patient to be seen. No appointments, no hassle, just quality care when you need it.
Access Health, where care meets community.
It's the New Year's sales event going on right now at Dutch Miller Kia in South Charleston.
For a limited time during the New Year's sales event going on right now at Dutch Miller Kia of South Charleston, get 1.9% financing for up to 60 months and $750 loyalty cash on the 2025 Kia Sportage. Plus, ask about making no payments for 90 days. That's no payments for 90 days.
Shop 24/7 at DutchMillerKiaofCharleston.com.
And this week's tournament championship most valuable players. You can go to WVSWA.org to discover more of the rich history of sports in West Virginia. And the Health Plan Champions Cup honors the athletic and academic achievement of high school athletic programs. Each year, the outstanding boys and girls programs in all 4 classes will be honored. This year's awards will be presented at
Cracker Barrel, the old country store with locations in Charleston and Cross Lanes, West Virginia. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's Cracker Barrel. Looking at individual scoring in this first half of action with Charleston Catholic on top of St. Mary's. AA semifinal, winner advancing to the state championship on Saturday. Molly Messer, 3 of 6 from the three-point line and has 15 points to pace the Irish attack. Nora Aliff has 9. Allie Wilcox with 3. Aurelia Kirby and Leona Evans with 2 each. For St. Mary's, Addie Davis leads the way with 9. Brinley Bullock has 6, 5 each for Callie Powell and Lainey Watkins, and 1 for Anna Bennett. I would say, Jim, that if you told Wes Hebner that at halftime Mary Rushworth would have no points, you'd still be up 6. I'm not sure if he'd believe you, but it just illustrates the depth and good balance that this Catholic team has.
Yeah, I mean, Mary Rushworth is the leading scorer on that Catholic team at 12.7, doesn't have a single point, but they have a lot of balance and have girls stepped up, and especially, I mean, Molly Messer has really, every time St. Mary's make a little bit of a run, try to snatch that momentum back, she'd hit that 3 from the right wing and just kind of settle them down a little bit. You know, when you look at the other side, Addie Davis, the leading scorer for St. Mary's, she's got 9 points, hasn't done so well from the field, but found her rhythm at the line, 6 of 7. But, you know, if they're going to be successful, they got to get her and they got to get Brinley Bullock into it.
All right, back with the second half here on the NFHS Network.
You know, you can get help with your college tuition from the West Virginia Army National Guard.
Start
Simply
with
go
us.
to
New River Community and Technical College,
That's
your community college. Take classes online or in a
Toyota
classroom
and your
in
local
Beaver,
West Virginia
Lewisburg,
Toyota dealers.
Somersville, or
Proud to be an
Princeton.
official
Or step
partner
outside
of
the
the
classroom in one of our technical or health
They support
programs.
high school
Find
sports
flexible
all
and
across
affordable
West
options to
Virginia.
help you reach your goal.
Visit
It's closer than you think when you start with us.
That's
New River Community and Technical College. Apply
Toyota,
today.
let's go places.
To the championship athletes, we say,
Good luck. Go get them.
fight hard.
Never give up.
You've got this. There's no I in team. Let's go. And most importantly, have fun.
At WVU Medicine Thomas Hospitals, we're proud to be the official healthcare partner of West Virginia High School Athletics.
Today's live streaming coverage of the 2025 West Virginia High School Girls State Basketball Tournament is being presented by your local Little General Stores. Great price, convenient places. Your local Little General Stores. Charleston Catholic winning a state championship in 07, runner-up in 06 under Ashley Shepler, runner-up again in 09. And that was to Huntington St. Joe, and that started a 7-game championship win streak for Huntington St. Joe and head coach Shannon Lewis. So St. Mary's will have the basketball to get us started here in this second half. Blue Devils trailing by 6 at 31-26.
Irish coming out in their typical man-to-man defense.
Well, Charleston Catholic's had championship success in a lot of sports. St. Mary's has won championships, been doing really well in golf. Good job by Addie Davis there, but the ball loose, and Messer scoops it up, and an easy layup for Molly Messer as her great game continues.
Yeah, unfortunately there. And then just even more unfortunate, Callie Powell kind of lost her footing there at half court, and then throwing the ball in bounds, she kind of had a inbounds violation to turn the ball back over to Charleston Catholic to try to extend their lead.
That's 7-game win streak for St. Joe as Wilcox puts it up and in to make it a 35-26 advantage. So that matches the biggest lead of the game. St. Mary's lost back-to-back years to another team known as the Irish. Now St. Mary's here in this 2025 state tournament trying to get to the state championship. Bullock, nice job, and boy, just could not get rewarded there.
Yeah, she made all the right moves, but couldn't find the basket at the end.
Here comes Callie Powell. Powell taking her time and putting it in. It was a great job by Powell. I mean, Jim, she was running right at us. The determination, and just kept her eye on that ball and takes it in. A nice bucket there for Powell, who now has 7.
A much needed bucket for the Blue Devils at this juncture. I know it's early in the third quarter.
And then falling down there and getting it to go through for the Irish. Wilcox.
Good body control by the freshman.
And here is Davis.
Took their eyes off of Addie Davis. She's able to sneak by. I think they were going to do a switch there from Catholic and had some miscommunication. Easy deuce for Davis.
7-point Charleston Catholic lead. Aurelia Kirby. Watch out for Kirby. Rattles around, wouldn't go. Earlier this year in a game against Logan, Kirby fired up one from half court and knocked it through. All right, Bullock and St. Mary's trying to whittle away here at this lead by the Irish. Bullock going after the miss and gets fouled.
Yeah, good hustle rebound there by Brinley Bullock. She went crashing to the boards hard and was rewarded by going to the line.
And that foul, by the way, on Mary Rushworth, the one we talked about, Rushworth not scoring in that first half. Of course, got 2 fouls, and now she's at 3 and going to have to come out, and Nora Aliff will come in, and Aliff did a great job in that first half.
You're starting to see Wilcox kind of heated up a little bit. Messer's just had an outstanding game, and Aliff has just been off the bench red hot.
Bullock is 6 of 6 at the line, has 8 points, makes it a 5-point game. And here's Aliff. Her shot wouldn't go, but a good job by Evans to keep things alive for Catholic. Skip pass, Messer inside. Nope, she was right there. I thought maybe she was just on it. But no, Brian, as soon as I saw Brian Thax, I said, nope, he's got his hands up. Messer.
Yeah,
what a game.
She's had a phenomenal game. I think they need to find her on the edge.
St. Mary's got it down to 5. Messer puts it back up to 8. Davis will make it a 6-point game.
A tough shot by Addie Davis, able to use her body control, kiss it off the glass to keep the Blue Devils close.
Well, definitely, if you're Fred King, keep it within striking distance, especially when you got someone like Messer who just seemingly is not missing.
Yeah, they kind of took their eye off of her there for a while, so they're back on her now.
Here's Evans. This is a 3 if it goes, and that one a little short. Addie Davis, a good ball handler. See that contact coming and able to just go right at him and score, and that's Davis just maintaining control.
Yeah, the problem with Addie is she's so strong. She got shoved on that shot, and she still made the bucket.
Wes Hebner wants to call a timeout. 40-36, Charleston Catholic by 4 over St. Mary's. Winner of this one heading to championship Saturday. We're back in a moment here on the NFHS Network.
At Window World of Beckley, we appreciate our customers like Lily Grove Baptist Church.
We recently called Window World to give us a quote on new windows in our church. The salesman was prompt. He gave us a reasonable price. The windows came and were installed in a professional manner. They look great and will help us with heat loss this winter.
Call 1-800-WINDOW-WORLD today for your free in-home estimate.
I highly recommend Window World of Beckley.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Today's live streaming coverage of the 2025 West Virginia High School Girls State Basketball Tournament is being presented by your local Little General Stores. Great price, convenient places. Your local Little General Stores. Charleston Catholic with the basketball, a 4-point lead. Molly Messer, who has knocked down 4 threes. Gives way to Allie Wilcox. Aurelia Kirby with the basketball. As Hebner paces that Catholic sideline. There's Wilcox.
Pretty decent defense by St. Mary so far, but a lot of good patience shown by Catholic. And we got a little body there on the high post.
And the foul going to be called here with 3:27 remaining in our third quarter, and the foul will be charged to Addie Davis. That's number 2 on Davis. Each team with a foul here in this third. Pass came in to Aleph and stays with Catholic.
A good job by Bennett there, because Aleph had an opportunity there to get that.
A lot of times at the state tournament, Jim, typically the boys tournament, as Wilcox goes in and has it knocked away there by Watkins, is St. Patty's Day, And
yeah, we're just a week away from that.
It's going to happen here soon.
A good job there by the freshman with that block.
Kirby, and it comes Aurelia Kirby, a senior. Leona Evans, a junior. Mary Rushworth, team's top scorer right now on the bench for the Irish with 3 fouls. And Wilcox backs it out. Wilcox will drive, but Wilcox a little too strong there. And coming away with it, Lainey Watkins. Watkins with a big step and couldn't get it to go. Catholic back on the offensive end. Evans looking for Aleph. Aleph going to be fouled by Bennett.
Yeah. Good job posting up there by Evans. She just had that big body there. She just kind of stretched it out there. You see that entry pass in. Able to block off Bennett. Bennett gets charged with the foul.
Aurelia Kirby feeding it in, and Davis takes it away. Davis speeds down the floor. Addie Davis couldn't find the ball for a minute. Goes to Bullock, who drills it.
It's a 3 for Bullock.
That's a huge three by Brinley Bullock.
5th three of the game.
And Mark, they are a different team when Brinley Bullock is on that floor. She had a couple early fouls and was out for a while. Now back in the rhythm of the game.
Makes it a 40-39 score. Catholic by 1. Bullock had a 3-pointer the other day, down low, shot won't go. We have a whistle, so Bullock on the season now with 28 3-pointers. Foul going to be called here on Bullock, and that will be her third.
Personal.
Yeah, got her right on the wrist. It's one of those situations, Mark, where, you know, people say, well, how come they blew the whistle so late? Sometimes the officials will give that shot if they make it, and they'll let it go. They'll let the play go. Actually, the name of that is called the tire philosophy. Not that I would know that from officiating basketball, but.
Aliff now with 11 points, 3 of 4 at the free throw line. Gets Catholic up by 3. Davis drives. Davis cannot get it to go. Boy, that's exactly what she was looking for.
Had a golden opportunity there. Let that one slip away from him.
Yeah, Watkins couldn't hang on. And now here's Aliff and a reach by Watkins. 1:36 remaining here in the third. A tight one. We had a great one earlier today. Greenbrier West, the number 6 seed, coming away with the victory over Tucker County. And now here we have a matchup semifinal round, and the winner goes to the state championship. Fired into Messer.
Yeah, St. Mary's kind of beneficiary of that foul. Otherwise, you saw an easy deuce by Aliff.
Wilcox goes out to Molly Messer. Rushworth is back in. And here's Aliff, and the ball batted away, and we have a held ball, and it will stay with Catholic with 1:12 to go in the third.
Yeah, good hands there by the Blue Devil defense.
Possession out of bounds to Charleston Catholic.
Aurelia Kirby will send it in. Molly
Annie
Messer.
Bennett, the 10th grader, she's got a daunting task to try to keep Nora Aliff from posting up like that.
Another runner by Messer wouldn't go. St. Mary's now with a chance here offensively to edge a little closer, and Davis's shot off the mark. Under a minute now to go here in this third quarter.
The Catholic could exercise some patience here and milk the clock down. They got a 3-point lead, had a 5-point lead at halftime, so the St. Mary's has whittled it a little bit.
Aliff dishing. Rushworth sends it back out to Wilcox. Now Aurelia Kirby. Rushworth looking for her first bucket of the game. Messer's been on fire. Kirby to Wilcox. Wilcox will just launch it up and throws it up and banks it off the glass and in.
Wow.
It's not a shot, that's a pass off the glass. Check it out.
They got overextended here on the outside, and Wilcox, seeing the time going out, she just heaves it, and the bank was open.
gives Catholic a 45-39 lead. Away we go to the fourth quarter here of the NFHS Network.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Take a ride to the north side and get your big John deal at Mid-State Ford in Summersville. And here's the top 5 reasons to shop Mid-State Ford. You'll find the largest inventory, award-winning service, financing made easy for everyone, highest trade-in value. And the number 1 reason to shop Mid-State Ford is where you'll find your big John deal. Mid-State Ford in Summersville, MidStateFordWV.com.
Whether it is a blue can of Pepsi or a silver can of Diet Pepsi or the black can of Pepsi Zero, enjoy a great smooth taste of an ice-cold Pepsi. What a finish to the third as Allie Wilcox in trouble. Time winding down, just got to heave it with one hand, and it banks off the glass, and Catholic with a 6-point edge as we start this fourth quarter of action. The winner will play in a state championship game on Saturday.
Mark, you always have to be concerned if you're Fred King and his team about, you know, the mental aspect of that kind of shot at the end of the buzzer.
Yeah, they've done a really nice job defensively. Wilcox, all she could do was heave it up there, and it went in. Here's Bullock. Get it to Powell, and Powell shot off the mark, and chasing down the miss was Bennett. Addie Davis in traffic, and Davis will be called for the charge.
And a nice job there by Mary Rushworth. Well, she got away with one earlier. She had a little bit of a jersey. They didn't see that on the backside. So, and Addie Davis going in, and Rushworth standing her ground.
3 on Davis. And Wilcox brings it across the 10-second line. Aurelia Kirby has it. Catholics had a lead of 9, and here's a pass inside. What a tough miss there for Layla Carter.
Yeah, Carter had a point-blank shot, wasn't able to do it. Got a little bit of a deflection there from Anna Bennett.
This game has been tied 3 times, 10 lead changes. Bullock fighting her way through traffic, hits the deck, will be fouled.
And you got that restricted area, Mark. You got to remember that girls got to be outside of that restricted area, and they weren't. And Bullock had a really nice move. She's very quick, uses her body very well to get to the basket.
That is 4 fouls on Rushworth. Bullock up and in with the first free throw. Very good free throw shooter is Bullock. 74%. So Rushworth heads out. Aliff is back in.
I'm not going to say anything about shooting. I don't like to. I've already.
A great look at the St. Mary's cheering section. So Bullock puts both through. She is 8 of 8 in the game from the line. She has 13 points, and she brings St. Mary's within 4. Here's Wilcox driving, and Wilcox takes a tumble, and they'll call a foul.
Yeah, one of those unfortunate incidents where you get your feet tangled up and you get the foul. That one going to be whistled on Lainey Watkins, her 3rd.
Pass to Aliff, almost taken away there by Bennett. Aliff, dish to Carter. Carter back to Aliff.
Again, good defense by St. Mary's, keeping the ball in front of them.
Tell you what, Aleph, not that she's not a good player right now, but she's really going to be something. Just a freshman. Foul called on the Blue Devils, and that is going to be number 4 on Addie Davis. So our impact players we talked about before the game started, Addie Davis and Mary Rushworth, each with 4 fouls. Here's a takeaway by Addie Davis. Knows she's playing with 4, knows she's got to just trying to help her team fall back in this thing. Bullock's 3 won't go.
It would have been a monster shot if that would have went down for the Blue Devils.
Molly Messer, guarded there by Callie Powell. Aurelia Kirby. See the Jerry West circle there, honoring the late great West Virginia legend. Timeout, 5.5 to go. Catholic by 4. Back in a moment on the NFHS Network.
Life doesn't wait, so neither should your care. Whether it's a cough, fever, or stomach bug, Access Plus is here for those urgent moments.
From bumps and bruises to stitches and even x-rays, we've got you covered with extended hours and walk-in care for the whole family.
You do not have to be an Access Health patient to be seen. No appointments, no hassle, just quality care when you need it.
Access Health, where care meets community.
Cracker Barrel, the old country store with locations in Charleston and Cross Lanes, West Virginia. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's Cracker Barrel. You cannot go wrong with any when you visit Cracker Barrel. A lot of times I get breakfast at dinner time.
Well, you can have any meal you want at any time there. Good food.
I'm a big guy, you know. I love places that breakfast all day.
You can't go wrong with that.
When in doubt, have breakfast.
A noticeable difference, not on the court for St. Mary's, is Addie Davis. She's got 4 fouls.
Yeah, they got her out right now.
I'm sure that Fred King will not keep her out very long.
And she sits over there by Terry Nichols at the moment. Kirby's
great
pass.
Anticipation.
Picked
Bullock.
Bullock, and then Bullock lays it in. 45-43. St. Mary's within 2.
Playing some inspired defense. Great job stepping out in the passing lane by Brinley Bullock to get that deuce coast to coast.
Wilcox guarded by Watkins. Shot up and good. Wilcox
Really
answers.
close on Allie Wilcox on a 5 count. Mark, she made that penetration to the basket, and the officials took the mark off.
Well, St. Mary's trying to respond. Watkins, a 3. Boy, Jim, we were right here. She was right in front of us. You could see it. Watkins has 3 threes in the game.
To say this game hasn't cranked up intensity-wise by a factor of 10 would be an understatement, Mark. Both teams battling hard in this last 4 minutes.
I think I called that a 3, but I believe it was a 2. For Watkins.
Wasn't sure. We had our feet in front of us.
All right, Watkins has 7, so let's get that correct. It was a 2, and so at the line is Wilcox. St. Mary's, as a team, 4 of 12 at the three-point line. Wilcox hits both free throws. Catholic is 6 of 15 from the three-point line, 4 of those by Messer. 49-45 the score, and a foul going to be called on St. Mary's. Offensive foul, and going to be a charge on Bullock, and now Bullock has 4 fouls. Davis heads back in for St. Mary's.
She was outside the restricted zone, Molly Messer was, and Bullock trying to take over and get some points on the inside, charged with the offensive player control.
Molly Messer has 20. Allie Wilcox has 14. And 11 for Nora Aliff. Catholic with the 4-point advantage.
Catholic content to play keep away with a 4-point differential here.
And Catholic continuing to pad the lead here. Bullock, three-pointer, they need it and can't get it. Bennett able to get the miss. Beautiful pass. Davis to Bullock. Fred King wants a timeout. 2:42 to go. 4-point difference between Catholic and St. Mary's. Bullock with the bucket. She has 17. Back in a moment.
At Window World of Beckley, we appreciate our customers like Lily Grove Baptist Church.
We recently called Window World to give us a quote on new windows in our church. The salesman was prompt. He gave us a reasonable price. The windows came and were installed in a professional manner. They look great and will help us with heat loss this winter.
Call 1-800 Window World today for your free in-home estimate.
I highly recommend Window World of Beckley.
Back inside the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center, another outstanding game unfolding here. Great job by our crew, led by Butch Bounce. Join the team at Affinity Coal Company in Sophia, West Virginia, that offers no premium, low deductible health insurance with dental and vision care, company paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company matching 401k plan. Affinity Coal Company in Sophia, West Virginia. Bullock with the basket a moment ago. She has 17, 15 for Davis.
Marcus, some things we can sometimes forget. Bullock's only a sophomore and Aliff is a freshman. Some promising careers from those two players.
Liliana Evans with the basketball for Charleston Catholic. The gym semifinals of tournament play. You are so close to getting a shot at a championship. Good job there by Messer. Stayed with it and scores it, her first basket in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's a huge basket there by Messer.
Back to a 6-point lead. Bullock thought about the three, going to drive. Bullock will score.
Take the easy layup. Davis got to be careful there not to get a ticky-tack foul.
Here's Kirby with a nice move. Kirby scores.
Excellent ball fake by Aurelia Kirby.
And she had 2 points in the first quarter. That's her second basket of the game. Under 2 to go here. Back to a 6-point lead. Bullock in trouble, and they get the timeout.
Yeah, smart call there by Callie Powell, the senior. Saw her sophomore in trouble. Brindley Bullock calling quick timeout.
We return to the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center in a moment. 6-point game, Catholic on top.
The best thing about West Virginia is West Virginia.
It's family, faith, and integrity.
It's a strong work ethic.
Everyone knows their neighbors.
I think we feel closer to nature and we feel closer to each other.
You can achieve anything here.
To be a West Virginian is to be hopeful. We live in a state that has boundless opportunities, and with boundless opportunities come hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at wvisforhope.com.
Looking for a path to success in service? The West Virginia Army National Guard offers unmatched opportunities. Earn your degree with up to 100% tuition assistance while gaining invaluable leadership skills. Train locally, serve part-time, and build a career with endless possibilities. Join a team dedicated to community, state, and country. The West Virginia Army National Guard, where your future starts today. Visit NationalGuard.com WV to learn more. We guard West Virginia.
Out of the timeout, St. Mary's with the ball. Anna Bennett driving around. Now goes to Powell. Right of the key, couldn't get it to drop.
And Powell needed to follow that shot. Should have been in perfect position for the rebound.
6-point lead for Catholic. They have the basketball and whittling some clock. Wilcox going to take it up and it wouldn't drop.
I'm sure Coach Hevener ill-advised shot there.
Davis, a three. Back of the iron, rebound, Watkins. Held ball and it goes to Catholic.
Gives St. Mary's an opportunity to set up their press.
Under a minute to go, 6-point game, heave it down, trying to get it to Evans, and Bullock with the interception, and there is Davis getting fouled.
And that would be, I believe, if that's on Rushworth, Mark.
She knows it.
Yeah. She's heading to the bench.
Mary hoping that her team can hang on here and she gets to play on championship Saturday. Just a junior. Davis playing in what she hopes is not her final game of what has been an outstanding career. Player of the Year, All-Stater, Player of the Year in the Little Kanawha Conference, a great conference. Davis up and Davis in. That's her first point here in the fourth quarter. And a timeout called. We'll break away here on the NFHS Network.
At Window World of Beckley, we appreciate our customers like Lily Grove Baptist Church.
We recently called Window World to give us a quote on new windows in our church. The salesman was prompt. He gave us a reasonable price. The windows came and were installed in a professional manner. They look great and will help us with heat loss this winter.
Call 1-800 Window World today for your free in-home estimate.
I highly recommend Window World of Beckley.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Davis ready for her second free throw. Just a great venue here for the state tournament. Home for many, many years. Davis, second one wouldn't go. 55-50. Catholic with the lead, and Catholic about to run out of time. Wes Hevener just did get the timeout called.
Yeah, he had about a second and a half to spare.
St. Mary's playing some great defense there in the backcourt. So Charleston Catholic trying to get to the state championship. Today's live streaming coverage of the 2025 West Virginia High school girls state basketball tournament is being presented by your local Little General stores. Great price, convenient places, your local Little General stores. I love looking at single A championships. 1976, they brought the state tournament back after not having girls basketball since 1924. Fort Gay, now part of Tulsa High School, beat Valley Wetzel for that first championship. Holt Tyler County High School a state title. Van has won a title. Van's still around. Athens, now part of Pikeview, won a single A championship. St. Francis, no longer a school. There in Morgantown, won 3 in a row. Birch, now part of Bingo Central, was a state champ. In St. Mary's, playing in back-to-back state championship games 2013 and 2014. Charleston Catholic trying to get to the state championship here. And Jim, I was wondering, you got a foul.
Yeah. They had it set up. Coach King had it set up on that trap right on the out of bounds on the sideline. Thought he got an offensive player control. They just did not get the call that he was looking for. Putting the freshman at the line, Mark.
So Charleston Catholic back in a state championship game. If they can get there, be the first since 2009. Free throw up and good by Wilcox. Unless something happens between now and then, Wilcox may be remembered for the shot of the tournament as she heaved what looked like a baseball pass that banked off the glass. Wilcox got them both to go down. And now St. Mary's down 7. They have really got to speed it up here. Bullock glides down the floor. Powell will let it fly, and Powell can't get it to go. Off the mark, and Davis hits the deck. Wilcox will be fouled with 9.7 to go and a 7-point lead. And just kind of a helpless feeling as you look over at the St. Mary's bench and the players here. And meanwhile, I think Catholic starting to feel what might be about to happen.
You got a lot of players on this court, Mark, that are going to be back next year for their respective teams. So I expect some great things out of those players as well.
And you have some players like Addie Davis. Wilcox doing the job here at the free throw line. Addie Davis, Callie Powell, Lindsay Asher, part of the St. Mary's senior class. Wilcox. Speaking of Lindsay Asher, the 5'9" senior, gets into the game. In it comes to Addie Davis. A great career about to come to a close, and she almost nails the 3. Ball out of bounds. Powell will let it go, and that's it. Charleston Catholic heading to Championship Saturday here at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. A hard-fought 59-50 victory over St. Mary's. Great season comes to a close for the Classy Blue Devil program and for the Classy Irish program. One more game to go in this 2024-25 season. Your final 59-50. We come back to recap it for you in a moment. You're watching live streaming coverage of the 2025 West Virginia High School Girls State Basketball Tournament on the SMHS Network.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful. Hi, this is Patayo. And this is Elsa. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick. I really like the marinated chicken breast because the spice comes in at just the right moment. Oh, no. A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. It's highlighting the flavors in the chicken. That's what really makes me happy. Are you gonna eat all your fries?
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
The best thing about West Virginia is West Virginia.
It's family, faith, and integrity.
It's a strong work ethic.
Everyone knows their neighbors.
I think we feel closer to nature and we feel closer to each other.
You can achieve anything here.
To be a West Virginian is to be hopeful. We live in a state that has boundless opportunities, and with boundless opportunities come hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at wvisforhope.com.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
We welcome you back inside the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center, where the Charleston Catholic Irish have defeated St. Mary's 59-50 in this Class AA semifinal round game at the 2025 West Virginia Girls State High School Basketball Tournament. Charleston Catholic now 19-6. St. Mary's great season comes to an end at 20-5, and with the win, Charleston Catholic moves into the state championship, and they will play the winner of a game coming up later today between Wheeling Central and James Monroe. Catholic has fallen twice this season to Wheeling Central. Scores in this game for Charleston Catholic, leading the way was Molly Messer with 22 points. Allie Wilcox had 18. Nora Aliff off the bench with 13 points as Mary Rushworth was in foul trouble throughout the game. For St. Mary's, Brindley Bullock, the outstanding sophomore, leads the way with 19. Great career for Addie Davis comes to an end with 16. Coming up, we've got Tug Valley and Webster County single A contest, as all the single A quarterfinal round games are being played today. We had a great one to start today as Greenbrier West was victorious over Tucker County. Jim, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm sure Coach King from St. Mary's would like his girls to shoot a little better. 32% in the game, that really didn't do it. They played fairly clean. Neither team did a bad job on their turnovers. Just better conversion from the Irish, and that bench scoring from Nora Aliff, that freshman. She was one of the difference makers in the game for Charleston Catholic.
Today's game here on the NFHS Network was produced by Video Productions in conjunction with the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission. Butch Mounts is the executive producer of Video Production Sports. Again, our final score of this Class AA semifinal round game, Charleston Catholic wins it over St. Mary's 59-50. For Jim Mahan and our great crew, this is Mark Martin. We say so long for now from here inside the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. Thank you for watching our live streaming coverage of the 2025 West Virginia High School Girls State Basketball Tournament here on the NFHS Network.